A Shawnee Mission Elementary School goes green and gets honored for its efforts. The little bluestem is now Kansas' official state grass. Find out why it might not have happened without the persistence of some Shawnee Mission students. Plus, it's a competition for students from across northeastern Kansas. Later, we'll check out what Job Olympics has to offer. And the spoken word earns a Shawnee Mission High School student a trip to Washington. It's all ahead on this episode of Spotlight on Shawnee Mission. Welcome to Spotlight on Shawnee Mission. I'm your host, Leanne Neal. Looking for one of the biggest green initiatives in Johnson County? You'll find it at Tomahawk Elementary School. The school was one of the first to receive the county's new Green Business Recognition Award, and here's why. Lunchtime cleanup at Tomahawk has been transformed. Gone are the days of simply dumping your tray into the trash can. Now these savvy students separate out items that can be recycled or composted, and it's made an impressive difference.
We've cut the waste reduction of our trash from composting from 5 bags a day to a half a bag a day. We've reduced our dumpster pickups, so we're really pleased with it, and we're hoping that it's the beginning of a long green effort at Tomahawk.
So it was the kindergartners and the first graders who caught on to the ideas really quickly. So I think that whole process of just, you really need to teach children at a young age for them to start implementing that throughout their life.
Madaris and Brawley are co-leaders of Tomahawk's HIP team, a student club with a focus on environmental issues. In addition to the cafeteria food composting, the HIP team successfully expanded Tomahawk's recycling program by putting recycling bins in each classroom that team members empty during their weekly meetings.
I think over the course of the months that we've been running this program, it's really gotten into their heads that, they need to start doing something, and we're just so proud of them.
Going green is contagious. The numbers tell the story. Since HIP started its work, Tomahawk has cut its trash by 92%, electricity use by 5%, natural gas use by 48%, and paper use by 14%. The numbers were impressive enough to get the attention of Johnson County, which selected Tomahawk as one of only 14 businesses to be recognized for their green initiatives.
We never thought we'd be where we are today with the recognitions that we've received and the stories and things. It's just been great, not only for our community and getting that recognition of what we're doing and all the hard work behind it, but getting the word out about the recycling and the compost, how important it is and how much you really can save on a daily basis.
One of the things we noticed when we first started doing our waste compost program, we were able to reduce our trash by 92%.
Building upon this success, Tomahawk is now working to help others get their green ideas off the ground.
We've had enough other schools and businesses approach us on our activities that we're going to try and sit down and have a discussion on everything that we've done and hopefully get new ideas too.
The first Green Roundtable was held over the summer. About 24 participants learned about Tomahawk's initiatives and shared ideas of their own.
This was great information today to get some more ideas and just see what other people are doing.
The composting program is very exciting. The amount of waste that they're reducing is just incredible and very impressive, and it's something that I know that we're extremely passionate about implementing at Brookwood.
We were overwhelmed with the support that we got from the entire community, really, and it just we just started something and it just took off.
Tomahawk received a Kansas Green Schools grant to help set up its waste management program. For more information, visit kansasgreenschools.org. Some Shawnee Mission South students made their mark on the Sunflower State. We'll tell you how they'll go down in history. And special guests bring history to life for students at Indian Hills Middle School. We'll be right back.
Hello, my name is Alan McMorris. I am a 5th grader at Ryan Benninghoven Elementary School. The book I read is Dexter the Tough by Margaret Peterson Haddix. It is about a boy who hates his new school on the first day. His teacher asks the class to write a story. Dexter writes that he's tough and that morning he had beat up a kid. Is this story true? Does he apologize to the kid? Will he ever like his new school? Read the book to find out. I rate this book 4 out of 5 stars because it was exciting and it kept me wondering what was going to happen next the whole time. So read Dexter the Tough for your William Allen White book this year.
Welcome back. In Kansas, the state flower is the sunflower, the state bird is the meadowlark, and the state tree is the cottonwood. So when some Shawnee Mission South science students found out there was no official state grass, they decided to do something about it. But they had no idea just how long the process would take.
When you think of Kansas, other people think of wheat, but we now can think of little bluestem.
For Shawnee Mission South science students, hard work finally paid off. The little bluestem is now the official state grass of Kansas.
It was chosen by the students because it is a native grass. It is found in all regions of the state. It thrives in drought conditions, flooding conditions, trampoline, fires, just about anything you throw at it. And also homeowners like it now because it's a bunch grass. And the fall is really beautiful. It's a golden red color. So it's really one of the most versatile of all grasses in the state.
Jan Alderson says she had no idea when her students began their quest for the state grass 4 years ago, the persistence it would take, including trips to testify before state lawmakers in Topeka.
It was still really interesting to go through the whole process, finding out what's going through with the bill, with the state grass, you know, and it was a really interesting process. And I enjoyed kind of being to the side, going up and testifying and helping something that's been going on for years now.
Leah Heathcote and other students who participated learned as much or more about state politics as they did about the little bluestem.
You go up in front of a podium and you say your piece and they're all looking at you, all jotting down notes, and it's intimidating, but I felt confident, and I felt like the confidence was something that really pushed this to get into action.
Elizabeth Willer found out that her big brother actually helped kick off the state grass project when he was at Shawnee Mission South.
He was like, oh, she was doing that when I was there too, and she's been trying to do that for like 5 years now. So it's kind of cool that my class got it completed when his class started it.
Alderson says there were plenty of bumps along the way, but believes that their perseverance paid off.
It is a good cause, and it's something positive for Kansas, and just very special.
We were all very excited when Miss Alderson got the phone call about it passing, and it was a great feeling knowing that we were all a part of it.
Alderson and some of her students traveled to Topeka one last time at the end of April to watch Governor Mark Parkinson sign the bill making the little bluestem the official grass of the state of Kansas. While Shawnee Mission South science students make state history, some Indian Hills Middle School history students have made a special connection with the past.
Will you now please join me in a moment of silence in remembrance of those who lost their lives on the attack on Pearl Harbor?
It started when Quinn Appletoft and his dad took over the organization of the annual Pearl Harbor Survivors Ceremony after the World War II veterans who had been doing it said it was too much for them to handle. In December, Quinn's classmates in advanced history at Indian Hills were in the audience to hear firsthand accounts of the attack. This spurred these young historians to want to dig deeper. So history teacher Christy Ramsey invited a group of local World War II veterans to visit Indian Hills for in-depth interviews with the students. Afterwards, the students' letters to the veterans showed the impact of the experience. Cicely Kriebel wrote, "Your stories and experiences are so horrifying, but crucial for us to remember and honor." Sophie Mann wrote, "My grandpa was in World War II, but he died before I got the chance to ask him what it was like and for him to tell me his stories. I'm writing this letter to you to get a chance to do what I never got a chance to do with him." Dara O'Connor wrote, "Thank you with all my heart for risking your life and being so courageous to fight for our country when we needed you the most." As thanks for his hard work, Quinn was named an honorary member of Kansas City's Pearl Harbor Survivors Association and got to go with the veterans to Washington, D.C. for an honor flight. Interestingly, while the students asked a lot about the 1940s, the veterans were eager to learn as well. One student said a veteran wanted information about how to use Facebook and text message, and he also wanted to know, what is a Twitter anyhow? Volunteers play an important role in Shawnee Mission schools. Up next, the district says thanks. Plus, students put their skills to the test at the Job Olympics.
Hi, I'm Grant with Kids Science News Network. Are you an explorer? Can you see yourself living and working in space? NASA has big plans, starting with using the space shuttle to complete the International Space Station. Then, new spacecraft will fly people back to the moon. And from the moon, Mars will be studied. Someday people will live and work on Mars. To learn more about how you can help turn this vision into a reality, visit our website. Until next time, I'm Grant with Kids Science News Network.
Welcome back. Shawnee Mission extended a warm and much-deserved thank you to district volunteers with a recognition ceremony and breakfast. Throughout the school year, more than 200 YouthFriends mentors and senior serving schools volunteers donate their time and efforts to help Shawnee Mission students.
Please know that you make a difference in the lives of our kids in this district, and we wouldn't be as strong and as wonderful of a place to educate our kids without you.
While we greatly appreciate these volunteers, the need for more is critical. If you'd like to help make a difference in students' lives, all sorts of volunteer opportunities are available to fit most any interest and schedule. For more information, visit our website at www.smsd.org and click on the YouthFriends button on the right. Some Shawnee Mission students had a chance to put their professional skills to the test against hundreds of other students from northeastern Kansas at the annual Job Olympics held at Johnson County Community College.
Today is Job Olympics and it's a lot of fun. You get to see old friends and make new ones.
But what brings them all here is the competition. So what did Lane think was her best event?
I have to say Job Interview Advanced because I felt really confident and I feel like I did really well in that event.
More than 450 students with disabilities from 35 Northeast Kansas school districts competed in events that highlighted professional and interpersonal skills.
Most of our students are in work programs during the day as part of their education. They go out to work sites to learn how to work, or they get, competitive employment. This is kind of the celebration of all of that for us.
Events included making change, filling out an application, basic interviewing, folding towels, vacuuming, stacking shelves, bagging, shredding paper, and more. Students could compete in up to 4 events. Alex competed in making change and folding towels, and he's ready for more.
It's fun.
Yeah? Do you like coming here?
Yeah.
You want to come next year?
Yeah.
The volunteers have a great time too.
This is my first time, but I love it. It's awesome. Great kids. They're just having a great time at it.
In events like grocery bagging, sometimes a student's real-world work experience pays off.
One of my managers told me, before you bag, just separate all the stuff, like put the cans together, put the boxes together, put like the liquids together, like the sodas, things.
I am a grocery bagging judge, so we judge for things like, are the chips and the bread on the top versus underneath the 10-pound bag of potatoes, things like that. I'm so surprised at how professional they've been. They've always greeted me. They do a great job. You can tell they're well trained, very courteous, very polite. It's been a pleasure.
In the bussing tables competition, David says he's found it a bit tricky at first, but then it all came back to him.
I wipe the tables, I put the wiper with wet cloth, not dry cloth for the chairs, and reset the tables, make sure it's nice and neat, ready for the next people.
Teachers say that the Job Olympics gives their students a chance to practice the things they've been studying throughout the year, such as social skills, interviewing, work ethic, and money math. As volunteers from Shawnee Mission South accounting classes worked to tabulate the final results, competitors assembled in the auditorium to celebrate their achievements and rock out to the original tunes of C-Tran, because at Job Olympics, winning isn't everything.
I hope they come away with a great self-respect of who they are and how well they do, even though they have a disability. And the other thing I hope they come away with is, even if you have a disability, you don't always get to win. And so that's kind of a hard lesson sometimes, that when you're competing against 438 other people, not everyone's going to get a medal. And so we spend a lot of time talking about how life is like that in a job site. You're not always going to get to be number one.
Silvers says the volunteers are what make Job Olympics work. In addition to Shawnee Mission South's accounting help, Shawnee Mission Northwest usually sends about 40 students. Major business partners include Service Magic and Hy-Vee. A Shawnee Mission poet is making a splash on the national scene. We'll meet her when Spotlight on Shawnee Mission continues. Stay tuned.
Hi, my name is Addie.
And my name is Meredith, and we are both 6th graders from Pawnee Elementary.
We are here today with our friend Kusa to review the book Cracker, The Best Dog in Vietnam by Cynthia Catohita.
Can you imagine what it would be like to give your dog to a Special Forces unit, to become a scout dog, to search for weapons, secret tunnels, booby traps, and know that you may never see her again?
Willie gives up his dog Cracker to dog handler Rick Hansky. Then Cracker and Rick go through training to become a scout dog team during the Vietnam War.
The dangerous life-or-death missions that Rick and Cracker go on through the dense jungles of Vietnam make this book hard to put down.
This book is told from the unique perspectives of both Cracker and Rick as the reader sees the Vietnam War through their eyes.
The author made this book very realistic because she interviewed many dog handlers that actually served in the Vietnam War. We give this book 4 stars.
Welcome back. Casha Mills is a name you may want to remember. The Shawnee Mission North student made it to the national finals in a poetry recitation competition on her very first try.
I know why the caged bird sings, ah, me.
For the competition, each student selects and recites 3 poems from the Poetry Out Loud anthology. One of Casha's selections is Nikki Giovanni's poem, Walking Down Park.
Do you ever stop to think what it looked like before it was an avenue? Do you ever stop to think what you walked before you rode subways to the stock exchange?
Well, Nikki Giovanni, I love everything of hers. That's just my favorite poet.
Ever wonder why so much asphalt was laid in so little space?
As a state winner, Casha received an all-expenses-paid trip to the national finals in Washington, D.C. It's something she still finds hard to believe.
And then when I won state, I was just like in awe. I don't even really think it hit me. I still don't think it's hit me yet. So, yeah, I'm kind of still in awe of the whole thing.
Start again and think of Park, Amsterdam, and Columbus, not as separate, but as part of walking down Park, Amsterdam, or Columbus.
Shawnee Mission North forensics teacher Maureen Davis says Casha is something special.
She's very good-natured, and she is incredibly directable. You know, just one thing and intuitive. You know, she's a good talent, lots of talent. Vocally, she has this wonderful voice, and she has great facial expressions, and everything comes out on her face, you know, just translates right to her face. And so on stage, she's great fun to watch, and she pulls you right in.
You have to find a way that you can relate, and never when you're reciting a poem in something like this, you can't just recite it. You know, you have to make it a part of yourself. You have to find ways that you can relate, and once you do, you can move your audience.
It's so easy to be free. You start by loving yourself, then those who look like you. All else will come naturally.
She's had some hard knocks, I think, in her life, and for her to be the sweet, kind, fun-loving kid that she is says a lot about her character.
Casha says that while the Poetry Out Loud competition has been a lot of hard work, it's been worth it.
It's been a great experience. I love being able to do this. It's once in a lifetime thing. So it's been fun just meeting new people and just, I guess, I like being on stage. I love, performing. So whenever I can get on stage and just do whatever, it's a great time.
Casha competed in the Poetry Out Loud National Finals in April, but says she may not do it again next year because she'd like to give someone else the opportunity to experience what she has. That's all the time we have for this episode of Spotlight on Shawnee Mission. Join us again as we continue to feature the programs and people of Shawnee Mission who are helping guide students to success. Thank you for watching.